So my name is Rory, thank you. I'm representing DigiB. DigiB, as you may have heard earlier on from Dan, he speaks very quickly, so I'll try and speak a little bit slower. It's a personal data exchange platform. We enable individuals to take back ownership and control, thank you, of their data, and for them, can everybody hear? Am I speaking loud enough, or do you need a microphone?
We hear.
Okay, good. So it's for individuals to take back ownership and control of their data, and then enabling them to share that data with third-party businesses in return for service, convenience, reward, whatever that may be. We don't decide those value propositions, the businesses decide that. The types of data that we have today are social, financial, health in certain territories, wearables, music, and the like, and we have other sets of data coming in. Think of us like a personal data router, right, to America. That's essentially what we do. So we enable businesses to get access to data. We enable the individuals to turn it on or off, like a light switch. Okay, that's essentially what we do. Hallie was saying that I was going to present a number of live use cases. That was the intention. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the English expression Sod's Law. Well, Sod's Law is following me around since yesterday. I don't know why. Sod's Law, sorry to explain it, means if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Yesterday I arrived last night and found that our stand had not arrived here. And so major panic stations for a while. It did arrive eventually, so that was all okay. This morning, the live demos, they were working. They were working outside about an hour ago, but they're not working now, unfortunately. So I can't show you the live demos, but don't worry. I have a backup plan, which is to show you some videos. So unfortunately, I can't show you the live demos, which is not as powerful. Which is much more powerful, should I say, but anyway, listen, I have a backup plan. We do have these, what I'm going to show you are a number of apps and use cases, which you can see. We have a stand downstairs. I have it live on my phone here. I just can't get it to project up on the screen at the moment. As I say, I work outside, but not here. Anyway, I'm going to take you through very quickly a number of use cases. And the first is an app which is called Retina Risk. And sorry, I should preface this. All these use cases, some are in app stores, some are about to go in app stores, some are more advanced than others, some are more demonstration of the technology and the capabilities of what's possible. So please bear with me when I go through this. So Retina Risk, some of you may have already heard of this if you've seen me speak before on this, but it's essentially a risk assessment app for diabetics, telling them their level of propensity to get a disease called retinopathy. Okay, so it's a life-threatening disease. And what this does is it takes about 6 data points, your glucose levels, your blood pressure, your whether you're a diabetic, whether you're male, whether you're female, how long you've had diabetes for, if you've had it. And it puts that into an algorithm, and it will come out with I suppose, a percentage of risk that you're in. And if you're under 1.5%, well then you're in the very, very low risk and you're very good. If you're 1.5 to 3%, well then you're in the medium. And if you're above 3%, well then you're possibly in the high risk. And it goes through this, and it essentially educates the individual, if you're diabetic, about some of the things that they should be taking care about. And it helps them to monitor and track their situation in terms of their I suppose the ability, or not the ability, but the potential for them to get this retinopathy. So it's really good for education of the individual and enabling them to improve their quality of care and of self-care. So that's really what this is about. It's launched in Iceland, it's clinically validated, and it's going to be launched in other territories pretty soon. So I'm just going to very quickly play this video. Again, we have this app, it's available in Iceland today, and it will be available in other countries coming soon. So here you can see, I'm going to try and stop this if I can just for a second. Here you can see, up on the left-hand side here, this is your risk of getting retinopathy in the next year. This is in the next 5 years, so 35%. And this is based upon the 6 data points that I was just talking to you about. So glucose levels, blood pressure. And this data is coming in via your DigiB. This is health data that you've gotten either through the wearables or wherever else. So and if I had the live session, I could show that if you bring this down to 70 or down to 55 or something like this, your potential for getting retinopathy decreases. So it's really about educating the individual and in a nice, easy, intuitive form. Really simple, but very, very powerful. They've said in the UK this could save £40 million in the UK in a year alone by saved visits that are unwanted visits to professionals. And also, I'm going to continue playing the video, which is great, so a big saving. And then on the other side is for those people that do need to go and see your specialist with regards to this eye disease, is you will go quicker because you have it in real time. So that's what Retina Risk is about. It's really powerful and quite a good application. Here you can see our consent management piece, which is where you're authorizing to share your data with this application, and then it goes through and gives you a health score. So that's Retina Risk. Quickly, HealthyMe. This is another app. HealthyMe just brings in all your health data. Enables you to, it includes medications, conditions, vaccinations. It brings in key measurements and fitness data. You can then share your health data with other providers if you want. Today, one of the most coveted data sets is health data. It's extremely difficult to get access to, but we've managed to do that. And now, developers, instead of spending 5-6 years trying to go through all the legals and the approvals with all the different health systems, they can go directly to an individual and start building apps today. That's what's feasible by doing this today. If you're in a foreign country, or if you're moving from one doctor to another, how do you take your medical records? You can't do it today. HealthyMe would enable you to do that. That's what this can do. It's currently it's a Google app. It's currently available in Iceland. And again, we have in the UK and US, we're in alpha today, in both the UK and US, and we'll be bringing those in later this year and beginning of next year. So very quickly to show you a quick video. That's HealthyMe. Vax Abroad, next app, really quickly. Vax Abroad, vaccinations. I don't know how many people here know all about the vaccinations, which vaccinations they've had, not had, which are up to date, which are maybe close to. I've had one hand here. And I was talking to somebody yesterday and they said, well, I have to ask my mother. And unfortunately, I can't ask my mother. I said, I have to ask my wife. And I did ask my wife. And she said, it's a little blue booklet somewhere. I don't know, not a blue booklet, yellow booklet. I can't remember where it is. But anyway, so what this does, it will gather up all your vaccinations for you so that if you're traveling, you can have it all together there. But not only that, if you are traveling to a particular country, you can actually go in and type in, well, which country you're going to, and it will show you which vaccinations you need versus what you currently have. It will tell you when you need to get them, if you need to get them 3 weeks, 6 weeks, or before. So it's a very simple app. This is launched in Iceland. Again, it's Iceland. I can talk to you about that more in detail, but we have a living lab up there, and Frere, who's down here in the red jersey, is leading that initiative. But it's available in Iceland, and that's, it's a pretty cool app. Oh yeah, I was going to say that in Iceland, the health department have said that they get daily calls on this from people wanting to know what vaccination they have and what vaccinations they need to get, and this would take away a lot of that. A lot of that, I won't say stress, but a lot of that work for the health department there in Iceland. So that's something that is pretty cool there. So I'm just going to play this quick video. like that. So again, you have the globe, you just type in which country, or tap on the country that you're going to. It will go and ask you to, can I get access to your vaccinations through your DigiB library? And then it's passing the data over. It looks at the data, and it then tells you, I don't want to stop this, sorry. It tells you whether you have it, and it's going to ask for Belarus. Sure, I need to just stop that one. Anyway, it was asking you for, in Belarus it said, here are the vaccinations you require and here are the ones that you don't have. So it will tell you that. I don't know if you've got to see all that, so that was that. MyDuchenne's next up. So this is, MyDuchenne's, I don't know if anybody's heard of this, hopefully not, because it's well, hopefully not, I don't know if that's the right way of putting it. It's for children who have muscular dystrophy, and it's a degenerative disease. Very unfortunately, the children generally died before they're 12 years of age, so it's really, really not a good situation. But what this does is, this app is enabling the patients, the carers, and the individuals to actually monitor and track their situation, their condition, and to better understand it. They can track and record fitness and key measurements and certain observations, make observations better. It provides insights, and they can view this on graphs and things like that. It monitors their fitness and body growth. And this is really just to try and help the children and their carers and their parents in that journey, which is a horrific journey to even think about. And it provides the opportunity for them to share that data with health professionals that can then hopefully help the kids in their journey, and also for research. And I think for research, it's really, really crucial that they can try and share some of that data, whether it be their mood, or their how they're feeling, or their health, some other health conditions, or their whether it be some of their wearables data, how many exercise they're doing, things like that. So I think that's quite cool. So this app is, I have a demo here very quickly. This is just the terms and conditions. And they'd like to connect to DigiB, yes please. Connecting the data. Here's the consent access piece. This is the familiar piece that you're hopefully familiar with now. And that, essentially what we're doing on that consent piece is we're transforming 80 pages of T's and C's into one page. And just asking you a couple of things. Informing you about a couple of things, which is essentially what data they're going to get access to, for what reason, for what time, if it's the right to be forgotten that's implemented or not. And this is what this app does. Again, this is really quickly, I want to try and get in as many apps and use cases as possible. So that's MyDuchenne's, and that's available in the App Store as well. FinSight, so that's, I've showed a couple of health ones. FinSight is an app. It's like Personal Finance Manager. It brings all your financial data together from all the different bank accounts that you wish to bring together. You can view all the information in one place. You can see, search, sort, and all those types of things that you might want to do. It really effectively it enables you to effectively manage your finances. So this is very quickly. I'm going to show a very quick video of this. Again, this one, if I had the live app, it's really quite powerful. You can go and see and do a lot of things. I was quite amused to see some of the shopping that my wife is doing on my credit card. So I was watching that. So it gives you the top categories of your purchases, the top transactions, who you're spending most with, what time you're spending, which day of the week that you're spending most, which month of the year that you're spending most, and all that types of things. And then you can go in and you can search, sort, and filter these things really quickly and easily. Again, it's being able to get access to that wider set of data from multiple banks brought all together. Now, that's the basic of that We took this to another level then at a SOPR. I don't know if anybody here has heard of SOPR, but we did a hackathon at SOPR. We actually won the hackathon with this concept of an idea. And I'm just going to very quickly bring you through it. But on the left-hand side here, the idea was that if you were to share your data with a bank, they could give you personalized offers. Okay? How this works is, the idea here is you get on at a metro in Paris, and further along you like a car dealership, and then further along in your journey you start browsing about a Peugeot 208, and then further along you end up at the dealership. Now obviously this person was on his way to the dealership and he was thinking about it, and it's now created an event that the bank, if you have agreed to share your data with, they can see that this is an event. This guy, he's most likely in the market to buy a car. So I can now offer this person a personalized offer for a car loan. And that's essentially what they've done here. They've made some personalized offers based upon the data. They have a car loan based upon his financial information, 12,000 euros. Get to the next screen if they want to. Tap on this to get to the next screen. The car loan, 12,000 euros, percentage 4.2%, term 36 months, and so on. So the individual could either accept or decline. They accept, and then the car loan is given to the individual. It's just, this is concept. This is not a fully blown app. This is concept. And actually on the screen here, in your financial Finsights app, you can see that you've now gone 12,000 into because of the car loan. Again, really nice, powerful way of looking at how you can offer a personalized offer by getting access to personal data. Social Safe, actually the old name of DigiB was Social Safe. I won't go there for the moment, but this app is all about, it's really targeted towards medium to heavy social media users, and it's a utility tool that for social media users that would like to bring together all their photos from their various different social media accounts. And then they can go and see, search, sort, they can go and share, they can do lots of things, they can save it, download it, share it out in various different ways. Again, I can show a very quick demo of this. Again, you will see the usual consent access piece. In the consent access, they say, over what period, why, will my data leave my device? No. Will my data be shared with others? No. And so on. So this is what, that's the recurring piece here, is the consent management platform piece of DigiB. That's what we enable. So again, similarly, you can sort your data, you can search it, you can filter it in various different ways. Again, if I had the live ability to do this with my data, I could really take you through this and it would mean a lot more. Sorted by popularity, by description, which is looking at your metadata, obviously, to do so, and things like that. So that's what that's about. Happy, not happy. Now this was something that was literally developed in a couple of days, and it's really demonstrating the ability to do processing on the edge. And what I mean by on the edge is on my device. So none of my data is leaving my device. This is what we call private sharing. This stuff has not been possible really before with personal data. It is now through this platform. And by doing that, we've always been faced with this conundrum of privacy on one side and sharing on the other side. It's that, the dichotomy. It's, if you have privacy, well then you have little sharing. If you have lots of sharing, well you have little privacy. But what we've done with this is private sharing, so that nothing is leaving the device, it's edge processing. We have 100% privacy and 100% privacy. We can do that, we can enable that. That's really powerful. So this app, it demonstrates this. What it does is it goes in, it looks at your social media posts, and it just does through AI learning on the edge, it will assign a sentiment score vis-a-vis the post that you're making. It's quite cool. It's difficult to explain, but and I'll just show it to you very quickly. So I could actually see on my social media that I had something like a couple of hundred happy posts, about 38 not so happy, unhappy posts, and then a few neutrals. But really, I think what we're trying to do here is just, again, show how easy it is to do edge processing. But then if you correlate this type of data, mood data, or other types of data with health data, imagine what that could do. You know, those cognitive type behavioral therapies can all be done privately, and that can really be quite powerful. Finlove. This is a bit of an odd one. It's an application that's going out quite soon. It's been developed again in Iceland by some Iceland developers. Think of Tinder, but using your financial transactions data. So it's probably not for everybody in the audience. Maybe for the naughties. I don't know if you're familiar with the naughties. That's 0 zeros as opposed to NAUGHTIES. Or the millennials. Maybe some of you didn't get that one, but thanks, Joyce. So again, it's taking your financial transactions, where you're purchasing, where you're buying things, and trying to match you up with somebody that would be in a similar type of frame of mind. So if you prefer to have your coffee at Costa as opposed to wherever else, if you prefer to do your shopping at Harrods or wherever, and you're sharing this data. But this is done privately, and it's matching individuals up. It's a bit quirky, but as I say, you know, these things. This is your choice of gender of the person you would like to be. I never quite knew there were so many genders. Again, there's the genders, all the types of people you would like to be. And it takes into account age and geolocation data as well. Like the Tinder. This guy shops at Amazon, Lidl, Amazon, H&M. Don't like him, like her, whatever. And then it's a potential match. You start texting, tweeting, all done privately. Who knows? This thing could take off. It could be the next massive thing. You don't know. It's not.
Is this live?
Is this live? Yeah. I think it's next week. Next week.
Okay, so next week we have, how many are we? 50 users at least.
So it's, it's pretty cool. So some key learnings. Listen, security, privacy, and user consent, and trying to get the right balance on all of these things. It's shit hard. Excuse me, my friend, but it is tough, right? And we're continually working on it. Continue working on the UI, the UX. Trust, obviously, is a major factor in this. What we always say to our partners is gradually bring them into this story, into this adventure. Don't, ask them for the kitchen sink when you're trying to get access to data. Bring them on steps and really do it gradually. Don't go overboard. Sample data. It's really difficult to get sample data. Health data. To get sample data for health data is really difficult. These are things that we're facing, we're constantly challenged with, and we're constantly trying to overcome them. And it's the same in other industries, not just in health. Private sharing. It is now possible to do private sharing. And this is a big advantage for machine learning. That, as I was explaining earlier, only the results go off the device. So this is a big learning for everybody. It sounds obvious. Aggregated data is more powerful. I think it's obvious. I'm sure most people here. But actually, when we're meeting with developers, their eyes start lighting up when they see the power of the aggregated data. They said they never realized this was quite feasible. So this is really something that's really taking off. And when you start thinking about correlating social with financial or health with social or financial, it just changes the world. Cost savings. By doing processing on the edge, there's massive cost savings because you don't have servers, you don't have all that's associated with it for brand reputational risk, communicate, all that kind of stuff in securing the personal data. If it's done with the individual, if the data is kept with the individual and the processing is done on the edge, it takes away all that pain. So this is really good. Time to first app, enabling developers to get on board, get developing really, really quickly is crucial. And we've now got that down to about 5 minutes for cloning, compiling, and running a sample app. That's really, really crucial. And this is how hackathons can start flourishing really quickly. So that's it.